You know those speakers that are literally so good, they need absolutely no introduction? Well, that's this video.
Okay, so to show you what we mean, let's start off with an insane stat. Let's say you took $5,000 every single year. That's around $14 every single day, which is probably the price of like your lunch maybe or a few coffees. And let's say you did that every single year for the next 40 years.
Assuming an 8% annual return, which means an 8% interest rate, you can expect at the end of those 40 years, 1.3, ready? $million.
Should we say it again? One more time?
$1.3 million.
Tax-free. You're taking that $1.3 million, you're not paying $1 of tax on it. It's really $1.3 million.
And now you know why this video needs no introduction, because right here, what we just spoke to you girls about is an account known as a Roth IRA.
Okay, I am literally smiling so much right now. Do you see me? Because a Roth IRA is my favorite account ever. It's basically a retirement account. And it's weird that I'm getting so excited about a retirement account because I'm 21, Liz is 21, we're still ecstatic because it's literally an unbelievable opportunity that everyone needs to know about and everyone needs to take advantage of.
So a Roth IRA, like a brokerage account, is just an account where you invest. It's not in and of itself an investment, which should ring a bell. It's kind of the exact same thing as a brokerage account.
So don't go to your mom and be like, Mom, I want to invest in Roth IRA. It's not a stock, it's not a bond, it's
not an ETF or mutual fund.
It's an account. It's like being like, Mom, I want to invest in savings account. She'll be like, what? You can't do it. It's going to hold investment. So you can open up a Roth IRA and buy an investment in it. It's just like a bag. It's holding that investment.
So just like you can invest in mutual fund stocks, ETFs in a brokerage account, so too you can do in your Roth IRA.
And by the way, definitions for all that coming in next video. Okay, so if a brokerage account and a Roth IRA both are accounts that hold investments, what's the difference between them? Like, why do you need both? And the answer is very simple. A Roth IRA is meant for retirement. You're taking money, you're investing it in an account, and you're saying, I'm not touching this until I'm at least 59 and a half. This is gonna fund my retirement. When I'm old, when I'm gray, when I wanna travel around the world with my husband, go shopping with my grandkids, that's money for my retirement.
So we know what you're thinking. This is so far away. Why are you telling this to us right now? Well, let me ask you a question. How much money have you spent on eye cream products, hand cream products to make sure that you don't have wrinkles under your eyes, to make sure that your skin doesn't droop when you're 40, 50, 60 years old, to make sure that when you're 50, you still look 35. Don't even lie to yourself. You all know that you've invested in those things. That's the exact...
And if you haven't, you will.
That's the exact same reason you would invest in a Roth IRA, because you're putting on that eye cream, you're putting on that hand cream, you're doing whatever you can, skincare-wise, health-wise now, so in the future, you're so much healthier and in such better shape. And that's exactly why you would invest in a Roth IRA in your 20s for when you're in your 50s.
Not only that, but thinking about it, an eye cream when you're 21 years old, it's let's say like $50, $60. When you're 60 years old and you want to get rid of the wrinkles under here, thousands of dollars in surgery. That's the same idea with the Roth IRA. You're taking a little money today and you are allowing it to grow and grow and grow into what would have been thousands of dollars when you're retired.
I just want to remind you of the number in case you forgot. We told you it becomes 1.3 million, not hundreds, not thousands, but millions.
Not even 100,000s, millions. And we know what you're thinking also. You might be like, that's okay that I want to get a head start on my retirement, but what if I don't have thousands of dollars to not touch until I'm retired? You know, $5,000 a year is a lot of money to put away and never see again until I'm retired.
Especially if you're a full-time student right now. You're like, Liz, Dolly, girls, come on.
Make like $600 a year.
Max.
Okay, honestly, there's two reasons. Even if you don't have thousands of dollars to put away until retirement, one, put away what you can, and two, know that you can always take money out of your Roth IRA that you've invested. You can't take money that it's grown into. So if I put $100 in, and in a year it grows into $110, I can't take out that $10, but I can always take out that $100. If I want a pair of shoes at Nordstrom's and I want to be irresponsible, I can take out that $100, no problem.
But you shouldn't.
Please don't.
Okay, so you're right. This account is sick. You could put money in when you can. You could take money out when you want. Like,
free money, lots of growth. What's the catch?
There's always a catch.
So the first rule you've got is that money that you invest in your Roth IRA needs to be earned. Not only that, it needs to be earned on the books.
Okay, really nice. What the heck does that mean? So let's tell you what's not on the books to begin with, because it's easier to go that way. What's not on the books is the cash that you get for babysitting, the cash that you get for maybe tutoring,
shoveling the driveway,
raking the leaves, anything that you get as cash or a cash equivalent, which is going to be Venmo, it's going to be PayPal, Zelle, any of those apps that are like cash.
You know those jobs that are like really official? You know what I mean? Like if it's on the books, you know, because you get a check stub, you get a tax stub, you know, like, you know what it is.
Literally any job that's going through the government and you're writing out a check through a bank, you are getting that money, but you're also paying taxes on it.
On the books. And also that brings us into the second criteria. Money you invest in a Roth IRA is after tax money, which means you have already paid tax on the money and you're then investing it.
Let's go back to camp counselors, since Tali and I have both been camp counselors. You're like, wow, $350 for 2 months. You're like, that's very
terrible.
Cheap labor. Anyway, you get your final paycheck, and guess what? Not only is it not $350, it is less.
Like $300. They took
$302.
83 cents. They took away almost $50 in taxes.
If you invest that $302, 86 cents, and put it away now, you could take it out tax-free gains.
And what does that mean, tax-free gains? That's kind of what we've been floating around this whole video. We keep on being like, no tax! You don't have to pay tax! Like $1.3 million, tax-free. That's the whole perk of a Roth IRA. The government's like, hey, you're being awesome, you're being responsible, we love that you're saving early for your retirement, and to reward you for that, you don't need to pay tax on any of the gains that your money grows to.
So let's break it down. Would you rather pay, this is simple math, girls, come on, I can do it, okay? Would you rather pay 20% on your $350, or would you rather pay 20% on your $1.3 million? Come on.
Ask yourself that, and then let us know if you don't want a Roth IRA.
So you're paying it on the $350 so that you don't have to pay it on the $1.3 mil. It's such a sick account. Like, do it. Okay, so you're like, girls, I still don't have the $5,000 a year. Guess what? It doesn't need to be the $5,000.
In fact, it can't be much more than that anyways, because the third regulation of a Roth IRA is that there are contribution limits.
Which means you can only put into your account a certain amount each year.
And that's because it's such a sick deal, such a sick life hack that the government's like, if we didn't cap it, people would throw in thousands and thousands and so much money because it's just so awesome and it grows and you don't have to pay taxes.
So for 2020, your contribution limit, the amount that you're able to put into your Roth IRA, is up to, but not more than $6,000.
Wait, Liz, does that mean I need to put in $6,000 in my Roth IRA?
No, it does not. You can put in, I know this is going to sound funny, you can put in $3 if you want. You're like, $3. Guess what? Compounds growth, growing over and over and over, and
it might be $20, who knows? So if you have a camp counselor job, a part-time job, take $100, $200, not much, put it in your Roth IRA, close your eyes, and you will be so happy when you retire that you did that.
So if you're keeping up, these are the 3 caveats of a Roth IRA. Number 1, it's got to be on the books. Number 2, it's after tax money, you already pay the tax on it. Number 3 is that the maximum amount that you could put into this account is $6,000.
For 2020, hopefully more in the future. So our last rule and regulation when it comes to Roth IRA is that not everyone can contribute to this sick life hack. And that is because, like we said, the government has to regulate it because it's just that awesome. So there is an income limit. Only people who make less than a certain amount of money are allowed to contribute to the Roth IRA.
And the amount of money that you're making is on a per yearly basis. So if you're making over $139,000 per year, which is a lot of money, 2020, hopefully it goes up in the future, you cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. It happens to be that Tali and I, maybe most of you watching this video, are making nowhere near that amount. And so there is no time like today to start investing in your Roth IRA, because before you know it, especially if you're watching these videos, you are on the right track. You girls are going to become so successful that you're going to get a raise before you know it, and
you're over that limit.
No longer can invest in a Roth IRA.
And you know what? When that time comes, instead of crying that your relationship with potentially the best accountant in the world is over, you'll look back with such fond memories at the years you did contribute and be like, wow, I was so responsible and I was so ahead of the game, and now I'm gonna have a sick retirement and travel all over the world.
So throughout this video, we were dropping bombs of investment terms like bonds and ETFs and mutual funds, and you have absolutely no idea what that is. So Chris Harrison has asked Tali and I to kind of come up with the spin on The Bachelor. Join us for The Bachelor in Money Paradise, where we go through all the different types of investment accounts that you can invest your Roth IRA and brokerage account money in.
And find the best match for you. We will see you so soon, and thank you so much for watching.
Bye.